So our riding season is sadly coming to an end, but there's one last thing to do. Not the sexiest of jobs, but we have to winterize this motorcycle.
Yeah, the best way to maintain an engine is to use it and drive it or ride it all the time, but we can't do that in Canada, can we, Ryan, really?
No, not in Quebec at least. It's illegal, to be honest. I don't think I'd want to in the minus 30. Maybe somewhere like Vancouver you can get away with riding all year, but pretty much everyone else is going to be winterizing their bike this time of year.
Right, so we've got it down to kind of 6 essential tasks. That's a very subjective topic, winterizing a motorcycle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's guys who are going to wrench on it just for hours. There's people who will just stabilize the fuel and throw a battery tender on it and forget about it. I'm kind of somewhere in between, you know. I don't want it to be damaged at all during the winter, but as long as it starts up like a charm in the spring, you know, I don't want to spend hours on it either.
Yeah, we're on the same page. As we said, as I said just now, we've got down to about 6 essential tasks, starting with
what we already did, which was the fuel stabilizer. So before we came here, I put in the right amount of fuel stabilizer for the full tank, and then filled it up with gas right after that, so it mixes in and I get the exact right ratio for this 20-liter tank. And then riding it here, obviously, the stabilized fuel is gonna work its way through the system. So we did that. After that, I think we're gonna clean it, is gonna be the next thing we do.
We're gonna clean it, are we?
Yeah.
Why do you think we should clean it,
We
Ryan?
should clean it. One of the last things we did with this bike was ride it through an abandoned asbestos mine. Yeah, so it's actually covered in cancer. We're gonna clean that off.
Excuse me,
I'm gonna clean it off. I'll bite the bullet on that one since I did the deed. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna clean the chain as well while we're doing the bike.
Yeah, kind of cleaning and lubing the chain's that kind of awkward thing, isn't it? Because you're going to spray lube and it can get all dirty again. So we like to get the chain clean on there while the bike is wet and shampooed and covered up and sudsy. And then after that?
After that, the oil change, the other main liquid in the bike. So used oil is a little bit acidic. It's not going to do huge damage, but if it's in there all winter, I prefer to change it anyway. So we're going to swap out the oil and swap out the filter.
Yeah, it's an unscheduled change, right? I mean, you might only be 2,000 or 3,000 clicks into your regular oil change schedule, but the bike's going to be going away for maybe an extended period of time, so it doesn't hurt to get it out of there.
Exactly. After that, while the chain now is going to be kind of clean and dry, we're just going to go and lube it really quick. And then it's really easy on in. We're just going to throw a battery tender on the thing and then cover the motorcycle with a dust sheet.
Yeah, and we'll maybe block up the orifices, as you kindly put it in an earlier take.
Yeah.
With the bag to stop the rodents getting in for the solstice.
That's it. So yeah, we get started.
So mate, we've washed the bike. It looks a lot cleaner now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
A
better.
little less asbestos-y.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And now it got cold, so we ran the engine a bit more so it's nice and warm, and now we're going to change the oil and the filter, right?
That's it.
And we got a choice here. We went with, well, actually put it back in the OEM one there, but K&N do a nice filter, but it's not an OEM one, obviously, but it's K&N. It's got the nice little lock nut on here that you can undo, and it just makes it easier to get it on and off. As opposed to the OEM one, which is this one. But we're going to go with OEM because we're under warranty, right?
That's it.
It's got a 2-year warranty. So, straight off, you need a 17 mil on the 2015. I read up on this before. Apparently, according to all of the stuff I've read, the V-Strom is the easiest bike in the world to do an oil change on.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
So straight away, I read everything told me that it was a 14 mil socket for the drain plug, and I've actually found it's a 17. Or I might not be on the drain plug. So here we go. We'll get started. We're going to get the oil out of there first of all. That broke free really easy. Pop that under there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And we're going to start unscrewing this baby. The other thing that I did read was that these have a very long thread, and that is true. There it goes.
Yeah, it is. Looks like it was the oil drain plug after all.
Actually, it wasn't such a long thread. I guess they must have done some changes between 2012 to 2015.
Oh, huge changes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they redid the whole bike.
Something else to notice, if you can get the camera in there, is on the end of this drain plug there's a little magnet, which is going to pick up all the filings and the stuff that's banging around in the engine. And as you can see, this one's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's nothing really caught on there at all.
No, totally. It's not too bad.
Now I'm covered in the stuff. Got a little bit more out than I want. We've also got the filter going on here.
Gloves are for.
Now I've got a strap wrench on the filter here. Should be able to just get this going. There we go. And there she comes. A few twists. In a minute she's going to be hand tight, and I have to watch some more dripping around.
Yep.
Now obviously we're in the warehouse here, so it doesn't matter too much. But I put some cardboard down here, which you can see, and that's always a good idea if you're working in your mum's living room. She might get a bit grumpy if there's stuff on the carpet.
Mum will be miffed about that.
So here comes the oil filter. We'll take this one off now.
There it goes.
And here comes the last of the oil.
That's it. On the Strom, the oil filter is sticking right out there. On other bikes, it can be tucked in a little closer.
Yeah.
And people actually take a clear plastic bag and put it over the filter.
I have to say, you can't beat this stuff. If I've done this a million times, I've never dropped the oil filter in there. Honestly, I've never done it, and now I've gone and tanked it right into the bucket with the rest of the oil. What a bloody mess. Never mind.
It's off.
As Ryan was saying, it's really easy to do an oil change. It's so easy that you keep dropping the stuff everywhere. Something else that's pointing out is I love the Suzuki crush washers on the drain plugs. Don't know if you can see these. And here's another little subjective topic. Should you change the crush washer or not? What do you think?
I would say change it.
Yeah, I would have said change it too, but in actual fact, with these Suzuki ones, they reckon you can keep them for up to 100 oil changes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know. My rule of
changes on a crush washer, man.
My rule of thumb, it's like the same with the oil filter. I think Suzuki tell you that it's 2 turns past connection with the oil filter there with the frame. 2 turns past. I'm not going to go quite that tight because I tend to think that people over tighten everything. So I'm going to keep it at just a little bit so it feels nice and tight, and run it and make sure there's no leaks, which is obviously what we do for the drain plug. At the end of the day, no leaks is what we're looking for, right?
That's it. And it'll just take a while to kind of drain out from here.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of time.
Well, what should we do?
Chain?
Yeah, let's loop the chain while we got a little bit of time. Good idea.
Cool.
So while the oil's draining and we've washed the bike and cleaned the chain off, now's a good chance to lube it up, right?
Yep, that's it. So I give this a good shake for a couple minutes. I did that, and
yeah,
that's it.
And so let's spray. So we're going to go down into the rollers here and covering the O-rings as much. I'll spin the wheel. Of course, you could do this. It's a one-person job. It's not that difficult to do. But seeing as there's 2 of us, we may as well do it.
Yep.
And we're using Bellray. Now, you can use any. There's so many different products on the market, and people will tell you chain wax is better, and this is better, and that's better. But at the end of the day, I like using the Bellray because it goes on and it dries white. So you know that you've done the whole chain. Some of the chain waxes, the clear waxes, I always worry that I'm not covering everything. Of course, I'm super finicky about doing everything perfectly right. But anyway, this stuff goes on, dries on white. You know that everything's been covered and coated. And you can also see it as you're riding. You can see it start to grey off and get dirtier, which is obviously a nice little easy wear indicator of when you need to clean and lube your chain again.
That's it.
And there we go. I think we've pretty much covered everything there.
That's pretty well done, I'd say.
Very good. Okay.
Cool.
And that is one beautifully lubed chain.
Job done. I think the oil's just about wrapped up, so head back over and plug it up, put the new stuff in.
Great idea. Let's do it.
Cool.
Okay, mate, there's not much dripping out of there now, is there? I think we're just about drained.
No, it looks just about done now, yep.
Okay, so we'll boil it back. We've got the drain plug to go back in first, and then we'll put in the new OEM shiny black filter.
All right.
So,
want me to plunk this out?
Yeah, you can move that out of the way. Thank you, sir.
A bit.
Okay. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Love that.
It's an old mantra.
Okay. So are you a torquey guy or a non-torquey guy? Because the torque wrench, you don't want to over tighten these things, 'cause obviously this metal's kind of soft. So they tell you it's 23 nanomoles.
Newton meters.
Newton meters, which is like, I think about maybe 10 or 12 pounds-foot torque, something like that.
Yeah, something
10
like
and
that.
a half, something, 10 and a half, 11. So we're not going to bother with that because we know that it's just a little bit past tight again.
Yeah, we can do it by feel.
We can do it by feel, so I'm going to put it on.
The main thing again is not to over tighten these
Exactly.
things. As long as the oil's not leaking out of there, you don't really have a problem. If you're out off road a bit, then yeah, you want to get it snug because of the vibrations. They can vibrate out. But
yeah, 100%, I agree. And now what I've got here is the oil filter to go on, and what I'm going to do just to seat the O-ring that you can see there, I'm going to pick up a little bit of conveniently spilt oil and run that around the edge, and it's just going to help create that seal when it locks on. Find the best way to get in here. My God, they are easy to do. Wow.
Yeah,
impressive.
We can verify it now. The Suzuki V-Strom is probably one of the easiest bikes to do an oil change.
Damn easy bike to work on. I'm almost tempted to buy one.
Yeah, you should.
That was a joke. Actually, not a joke at all. To all you V-Strom owners out there, it is actually a wonderful bike. Okay, let's go on nice and tight. That's about as much as I can get it on with there, so I'm going to put this filter wrench on. $9 at Canadian Tire, guys. I'll do it the right way around. He says. There we go. It's not actually.
There you go. These are the things we cut out of videos.
Yeah.
For the most part.
There we go.
That's it. So the Suzuki OEM said 2 full turns, you said?
Yeah.
We may go a little bit less than that. Not because we think we know better than Suzuki engineers, but everyone has their preference.
Yeah, and we're about there now.
Cool.
So that's it. We'll take a rag onto this, make sure there's no oil dripping.
Yep.
Nice
Clean
and
off the bulk of that.
Okay.
Good.
Then we're going to go fill it up on the other side of the bike.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're over here, we're on the other side of the bike, and we're going to get the oil into the sump, fill everything up again.
Yep, that's it. Of course, the cap was already off. We took that off earlier because it helps the oil to drain out from the bottom.
Right, and we're going to put in just under 3 litres, 2.9 it says with the filter change. And we'll start, so that'll be most of this will go in, and then we should start eventually to see the oil coming into the sight glass just there.
Yep, yeah, it should be getting close now. Yeah. The scale's on the back of the bottle, eh? If you look at the
yeah, there's usually a little clear scale on the back of the bottle so that you know that you're not going to put too much in. Of course, I mean, worst case, if you put too much in, you can pick up a syringe from somewhere and you can just pull some of that oil out. The worst is if you put it in there, leave it in there, and then go bombing off around the circuit on it. So.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, so we kind of got it nailed there. Of course, we have to run it a little bit, right? Get it moving through the engine, get that oil coming into the filter there, and then that's going to drop the level in the sight glass.
Yeah, exactly. It's reading full right now, but a couple of minutes running, we may need to top it off with just a little bit, maybe maybe a third of a litre, something like that. So, so how about we run the bike?
Let's run the bike.
Okay, so we ran the engine, and as you can see, once the oil started circulating around the engine and got into the filter here, it's dropped a little bit down less than full. So we're going to just go ahead and top it up a little bit.
Yep.
And start pouring it in. So go on, Ryan. There you go. That's good. That's on the full line. Right, Ryan, the bike's clean, oil and filter changed, chain cleaned and lubed. We're getting to the point now where we're looking at the battery. What have you got there?
Yep, this is the battery tender. So these guys are like $30, well worth the money. As you can see with this little red light, we're fully charging right now. It's in charge mode. But when it gets fully charged, it'll just automatically flick to be a battery tender. It'll put no strain on the battery whatsoever, but it'll just keep it at that fully charged level. So much, much better than the trickle chargers of old.
Right. And it's quite easy. I see we've got it connected to the terminals, negative and positive. The wire's going to tuck down. You can pop the seat on and set it and forget it.
Yep, that's it. And this guy too comes with the alligator clips as well. So if you want to clip it on really quick to charge, you can do that. But if you're setting it for longer, we put the more permanent terminals on there.
Brilliant.
That's it. We'll throw the seat back on and cover this guy up.
That's great.
Right, Simon, so just throw that bag on over the end. That's going to keep a little bit of moisture out of the muffler, prevent some rusting, and the other thing is it's going to keep the mice out as well if you have some rodents around where you store your bike. It's kind of one of the last things to do before we actually tarp up the bike and call this job done.
So, mate, this is it. This is the final bit.
That's it. Time to say goodnight.
Sad moment. Let's put this over there. snake it over. Now, you don't have to do much, right? It doesn't have to be, you can go and get yourself a big bite guard cover if you want, or you can just use a dust sheet like I use. You know why I use a dust sheet, Ryan?
Why?
So that when the wife says, can I paint the living room, I say, I can't do that because the bike's underneath the cover.
Ah, clever.
There you go. That's
well,
it.
That's it. What do we do now?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.